Hi, this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. And today we're going to be concentrating on opening our hearts. As we approach winter, darker days, and further lockdowns, we're going to need some stretches that will help us feel better. So let's get on with it. So we will start with just sitting for a moment, closing the eyes, and let's just begin to take a few deep breaths, feeling the breath fill up your rib cage. So, simply changing your breathing, the rhythm of your breath into a deeper breath, a diaphragmatic breath. You automatically start to feel better. You feel calmer. It turns on your relaxation response. So just take a few moments here just to connect with the breath. And then we'll move into a very short heart opening practice, which will give you a feeling of being more at ease and energized. So let's gently open up our eyes, and you can come off of your seat. I want you to come onto your backs, lying on your backs. And once you're on the ground, make sure you have room to reach the hands behind you, and open up, bring the feet, walk the heels until you can tap the middle fingers with the heels, the tip of the middle fingers. Once you've tapped them, some of us can't go that far, so don't worry. You just bring them as close as possible. Let your arms rest next to your sides. I want you to take a breath in. This is called a bridge. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, press the lower back into the ground and peel your back off the ground. So you do it part by part, starting with the tailbone and working your way as high as what's comfortable for you. So not all of us can come very, very high. You might just lift your lower back off. Once you're at the top, I want you to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower yourself down, starting with the upper portion of your spine and working your way all the way down. So we're doing we're opening up our hearts, but also our stomachs as well. Take an inhale and then exhale, lift back up. And let's do one more time. Down as you exhale, lower down. And this time you're incorporating the arms. So it's called a flowing bridge. Take a breath in, reach your arms up as you lift your lower back off the ground. Let the arms float behind you. They can settle on the ground. And then take a breath in at the top and exhale, lower down, lowering the arms down, 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 down. We're going to do 2 more sets. Take a breath in, flowing bridge, lifting up, opening up those heart, invigorating the spine, bringing some feel-good hormones into the body. Exhale, lower yourself down. And then that's inhale, lift back up. And let's take one more breath in, and as you breathe out, lower down. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. So hugging, it triggers what they call oxytocin, which is a bonding hormone. So this gives us a little bit of self-love. And then roll up to one side or float up all the way onto your bottom and swing around onto your hands and knees. Press back into, this is what they call a child's pose. It's a resting pose, but you continuously use your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling with your mind's eye, focusing on the back, behind the heart, and in front of the heart. Let's take an inhale into your tabletop. Let's do a few little cats and cows, which are heart openers. Inhaling tilting your tailbone, lifting your heart. This opens up the front of your heart. Make sure the wrists are underneath your shoulders. And then exhaling, rounding the spine, cat stretch, looking back, opening up the back. Inhaling, opening, reaching that chest forward as if there's a string attached to the middle of your chest. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Pressing up towards the ceiling as if there's a string attached to the middle of the back. One more set. Inhaling, opening into your cow, exhaling into your cat. And then inhale back to neutral. Curl the toes under, sit back into what we call an extended child's pose. You can stay here or follow me, downward dog, just for a nice all body back stretch. Holding this pose, your knees can be bent, they can be straight, they can be soft, the knees. It depends on how tight you are or if you have back problems. Back problem people always keep those knees bent. And take a breath in and take a breath out. Then lower the knees to the ground. Sit back to your heels, slide your hands to your knees, lift all the way up, reach the arms up to the sky, opening up the front of the body. And then exhale, float down as if you're diving into a pool of water right underneath you. And then inhale, slide forward through your cow. This is a warming up of your spine. Exhaling into your cat, where you round through the spine and float back and tap your knees and lift up. All the way up, and see how far back you can get. Maybe a little bit. If you need support ever, please feel free to put your hands on your lower back, lift up. Opening up your heart center, little gentle back bend. Exhaling, diving down, back of the heart. Inhaling, floating forward. So there's anything to do with the heart space in yoga, it's associated with your thymus gland, which is your exhale, float back, which is part of your immune system. Inhale, lift up. So it stimulates that thymus gland. And exhaling, forward fold. One more time. This time, inhale, come back into your tabletop. Walk your hands a little further forward, knees underneath your hips, and then melt your heart into the ground. This is called in yoga anahata, which is melting heart. Take your heart, your chest, melt it to the ground, forehead on the ground. For those who are pretty flexible, can place their chin on the ground. And breathe in and breathe out. Take an inhale, come back up, walk your hands towards you, and then just step your right foot between your hands. You're coming into a lunge. Press into your lunge. Take your hands behind your back, interlace them, or if you cannot interlace them, then take a strap or a scarf and hold on to that strap. Squeeze your shoulder blades and then lift your hands off your back, opening up your heart forward as you stretch out your left hip. So this is called the lunge. Feel free to also put a blanket underneath your knees if you feel like it, if you feel you need it. And then release your hands down. Just bring your right leg back. Just press back into a child's pose. And then inhaling into your tabletop. Take your left leg forward into the lunge on the other left side. Hands behind your back. Interlace interlace with the fingers, one finger down, so it's an unfamiliar interlace. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your hands off your back, and allow yourself to melt forward, opening up your heart. Reversing our typical bad posture of rounding our shoulders. So this will help us to feel more energized, feel like we can get through a day. You could do this anytime during the day. And then inhale, lift back up. Lower the hands to the ground, swing your left leg back. And it just gives you that oomph that we need as we go into the winter months, into the continuous unknowns. Let's take a pause here in child's pose. And then let's walk your hands back to your knees and come back. Either you can come onto your backs and rest for a few moments, what we call in Shavasana. You're just lying on your back. Or if you don't have time, you need to get on with your day or get on with whatever you're doing, take a pause back in your easy seat. This is called an easy seat. It's a cross-legged seat. And let yourself sit up for a moment. And I want you to feel into your body, especially the shoulders, the chest, the back. But this short practice, yoga practice, is just enough to help you to feel like you can kind of get on with what you need to do. It triggers those good feeling hormones. Even if it's only for a short time, it does make you feel better. Lifts your mood. As I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice, this heart-opening practice, as we move into the darker months. Have a wonderful day or evening whenever you see this. Namaste, everyone. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. I'll see you soon.